Hello and welcome to day 16 of the Mindfulness Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about the sense of self and asking one of the most important questions that you could ever ask yourself, which is, who am I? So this is a little bit of a spiritual post. So if you're not into the spiritual aspect of mindfulness, please just pick another day. So let's get started. Now that we have a good idea of the thoughts that are in our head, and we start that process of disidentifying with those thoughts, we are left with a separation of the mind to an observer. Following me? So, who is the observer? And this identification is a very interesting process to go through. And it's kind of like one of those first steps into awakening your spiritual aspect of yourself when you realize this. I know in my 20s, I was a hot mess. I was plagued with anxiety. I was plagued with depression. I was all up in my head and I had no control over myself, right? And I saw no way out. And when I started to study these things like mindfulness, present moment, spirituality, I started to understand a disidentification from my mind to the essence that is behind the mind. And when you kind of make that division, it's kind of like a whoop, like this big revelation, right? And that's what mindfulness can bring you. It can bring you that disidentification of there is an observer, there is an essence behind that. And as you go deeper into yourself, and everybody's different, right? And there's no right way to it, to really figure out who that observer is. And there usually is not an answer to it. But as you go deeper into who is the observer, who is the essence behind the thoughts, that is looking at the thoughts, that's non-judgmental, that's the essence that gives the eternal peace. It is the essence that gives all of these unconditional love feelings. All that is good is coming from this essence. So in my case, I can't describe it in words. I could try, but I wouldn't even be even close, right? And connecting with this essence on a daily basis has been one of my main goals in life. So mindfulness was a tool for me in order to connect to this essence, and disidentifying with your negative thought patterns and your ego and all these memories and belief systems and all these things that compromise. This was Krista, right? Krista did not like X. Krista grew up X. Krista did this, right? And when I started to say, wait a minute, that's not who I am. And I stepped back and I said, okay, what is the essence behind Krista? And I started to tap into that essence. That's where I found a lot of revelations, a lot of peace, and I'm still tapping into that essence. And like I said, it's a daily thing for me. So like I said, if this was spirituality is not your cup of tea, that's fine. Just pick another video. But I would love for you that are very open-minded to try out this meditation that I'm going to post on who am I, and really see what comes out for you. And you may have heard this before, that there's a lot of spiritual teachers out there that meditate on this question. And remember, who am I cannot be something external. I can't say, okay, my name is Krista. I live at XYZ. I am this, I am that. Can't be labeled. You have to go beyond the labels, and you have to look at it non-judgmentally with compassion and kindness, and say that anything external is not the essence. And what you're left with is the essence behind the thoughts. So, hope that you guys have a great day. And till next time.